So, I'm here to tell you that astral projection is absolutely real and anybody can do it at any time if they learn the technique. Yes, there is spirits. Yes, there is demonic entities. Yes, there is angels. Yes, there are different dimensions. Yes, you can fly. Yes, you can go to the moon or Mars or ancient Egypt and watch the pyramids being built. Just like that. This needs to be known. This needs to be widely known. It's important. I feel it is important, no matter how you think about it. A lot of people think it's evil. A lot of people think it's witchcraft. It is in that category of, when it comes to esoteric knowledge, of witchcraft. I have tested this theory out, and I have became extremely good at it. I even tested it out to see if the events were actually happening. For example, I have left my physical body, went to a friend's house, came back into the body, obviously, called them, told them exactly what they were wearing, exactly what they were doing, and they were in shock. Okay? How do you astral project? I want to say this with caution, okay? Once you see this, once you experience this, you will never be the same ever again. Everything is going to be like, what do I know? The things I've been told, what are true and what aren't true? That's what's going to happen. And that's important because that is enlightenment. The moment you realize how much you don't know is enlightenment. That's all it is. And people will say different definitions. That moment is the moment you are enlightened. I think it's because then you can find truth. There is objective truth. Just because I believe something doesn't make it real. Now, this right here is not a belief. This is real. You can experience it. You can have conversations with entities. You can speak with spirits. You can go face to face with spirits. This is the occult. This is the realm of the hidden. A lot of people know about it. It's widely talked about on Facebook. It's widely talked about on YouTube. And anybody, some people have their own opinions of it. I'm here to tell you from my experience that it is real. And this is how you do it. So my technique was laying down, okay, going completely lifeless, like almost like you can't, like almost as if you're dead, okay, and imagining walking around your house as if you're out of your body, just imagining. This is how you get ready for takeoff, okay? You walk around your house, your living room, your kitchen, in your mind, you imagine doing it and trying to remember everything in its place. Eventually, you're going to start getting this feeling in your stomach. It's going to be anxiety. At that point, you just got to let it go. Just let it happen. Just let it go throughout your whole body. You're going to feel it's almost like electricity going through right here, what people call the third eye, which is the pineal gland. It's going to go through from this right here all the way to your toes, and your body's going to feel like it's vibrating, okay? Or almost like electricity going through every inch of your body. Again, at that point, you just let go, and you will pop out of your physical body. You use your emotions and your thoughts to move. If you try to walk or move your arms or anything, it's going to be like you stuck there like this. Okay? Everything is communicated from the mind. You don't talk with your lips. You talk with your thoughts. there are negative things that can manifest from this. You can open a portal. I opened a portal, and I was getting sleep paralysis and attacked by spiritual entities. I was lucky to find a friend, a brother, that helped me close that portal, and I haven't experienced any negative attacks since. This is described in almost every culture and talked about in almost every religion. The first time I left, it was 12 noon. I had to go to work at 3. And I was laying on my bed, and I drank some coffee. And I was like, I'm going to try to astral project. Coffee helped me astral project for the first time. I laid on my back, and I got into this lucid dream while I was practicing, obviously. And I was smoking a cigarette in my dream, and I was like, holy fuck, this feels like I'm actually smoking a cigarette. The next thing I know, I'm standing outside of my body looking at myself. My window was located, I don't know if you could see my hand, it's located over here, okay? There was a blue light shining through it, almost like the moon, but it was 12 noon, and it was the sun. In this realm, everything had a blue tint to it. It was more, it's kind of dark. It's kind of gloomy, almost. Obviously, there's different realms. In the astral planes, there's different planes of existence, higher and lower, depending on your frequency and what you think about before you leave, is where you're going to end up. I was so excited when I first left my body that when I came back, I stood up real quick. And that's after a very short period of time where I could not move. I was awake, but I could not move whatsoever. Sleep paralysis, the first time I ever experienced it. And I lay there going, okay, am I fucking paralyzed now? Am I going to be a vegetable for the rest of my life? That's basically what happened. And then I got up and everything was normal. It was almost just like I had a dream. But once you're out of your physical body, intuitively, you know that you left your body. The second most profound experience I had through astral projection was the moment I met one of my spirit guides. My spirit guide, I don't want to go into detail because it will tell a lot about me that I really would rather not have people know if they know that entity. Very beautiful woman. Most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Or outside of body. I was in love with her. I knew her, and I felt like I knew her my whole life, beyond that life, beyond this life. She looked at me with a love that I could never express, and I felt a love that I could never express. She told me that she loved me. She told me that I already know the answers to my questions, and I can find those answers within. She told me that she'll always be with me in this life and in the next life and in the spiritual world. Like, that is my guide. And I felt like I had a relationship with this woman. I feel like I had a relationship with this woman multiple times in different lives. Like, she is my soulmate. Like, she was the person, and maybe that's why I'm here. Maybe I'm here to do my work, and I don't know. And maybe I'm supposed to go back to her. I don't know. It's romantic to think like that, though. I mean, I don't know. There's something about it that just makes me feel like it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Another profound experience I had, I was struggling with Christianity and the idea of Christianity because I grew up Christian. And I remember I left my body and everything was blue, right? On my wall was a crucifix, a shadow of Christ on the cross. I felt like I was chained. I couldn't move, like my feet were stuck. Next thing I know, I'm standing in front of a church, and it is a whitish brick church, kind of old school. And I was stuck between the door, like, if that makes sense, like the doorway. I was stuck there. I could not get in, and I was not allowed in, and I knew that I wasn't allowed in. Like, there was a block. I was not allowed to walk through that door. In the distance, there was a man speaking. That man was speaking to multiple people, almost like a conference, or like somebody was having a motivational talk. I couldn't understand what they were saying. It was very mumbled. Next thing I know, I'm saying, if this stuff is bad, if this stuff is what I'm into, if it's bad, will I be forgiven? Because I was struggling with religion. I was struggling with my spirituality. I didn't know which direction to go after experiencing these things. A man who looked a lot like Jesus Christ. I'm not saying it was Jesus Christ, because it wasn't the full-on light presence, because, what people describe when they have an interaction with Christ. It was just like a normal dude with long hair, that looked like the image that is portrayed, at least to the Western image of Jesus Christ. He looked at me and he said, "If it goes on your back, don't break your spine." And I woke up. That was one of the most powerful experiences I've had in astral projection. Another experience that I have had that stays with me is I left my physical body and I looked up to this clouds, and what it looked like was storm clouds just gathering around. It was like a huge storm was coming, and I just gazed at it. Like, I just looked up and I just was just looking at it from all different directions, and that's when I realized that it wasn't clouds. They were beings, and there were dark entities, and they were surrounding the city that I lived in. And most people would call them demonic entities. If I talk about, I'm not going to go into the extraterrestrial stuff, because I didn't want to believe that myself. I did not want to believe that there was aliens. I did not want to believe that whatsoever. But from what I've experienced, there's absolutely beings that claim to be extraterrestrial. Absolutely. This knowledge is coming. Good or bad, everybody's going to know about it. And it's time for people to start talking. And there's a lot of people talking about it. But I feel like I have an obligation, because I understand these things, to talk about it openly through my music, through videos, through everything I can do to make people go, okay, all right, we get it. It's real. Exactly what is this? How come all these people are experiencing this? You can know things. I know for a fact that spiritual realm is real. It's not a dream. It's not a hallucination. I know for a fact that it's real. There's a lot of other people that understand it as well. Mystics understand this. People who are spiritual mediums, they understand it. And it's similar to the movies, but it's not like the movies whatsoever. It's totally, totally different than what I expected this stuff to be. When I was younger, I was into the paranormal. Like, I was, like, watched ghost videos and, watched, ghost movies. And I was totally fascinated with the paranormal. What I am doing right now, what I am saying right now, it's going to make a lot of people walk away. You get into this stuff and you get into this stuff. Like, you started having experiences, you're like, what else can I experience? What is this? Because I was told a whole different story when I was younger. And it turns out that most of the exoteric religions are absolutely watered down. There is a spiritual world. You do have a soul. You do have a spirit. There are entities that you can commune with. I have stood on the moon and watched the earth. I have stood on the moon and watched the earth. And as crazy as this sounds, you should open your mind. You should research it, because it's happening. This knowledge is coming, and it's coming hardcore into humanity like never before, especially with social media and the worldwide, connection that we have. If it's already blowing up, people are already studying esoteric knowledge. People are already studying it. People are getting into it. There's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of this new age shit. My suggestion would be to stay away from new age, because it is for manipulation. Just like the watered down Christianity, just like the watered down Buddhism. I was a Buddhist for a long time. For years I was a Buddhist, because that's the only thing that seemed realistic to me. And I started studying all these forms of different meditation, and this is how I got into this stuff. This is how I became a light occultist. And that's what I do. I express this information openly, and I talk about this information to help people realize that there is these things that you can experience. No matter how you look at it, good or bad, it is real, and it needs to be known. I want to thank everybody for their support. I hope this video helped you. If you like this video, please subscribe. I am an artist as well, and you can find me at Aries 101 on Facebook. Thank you. Blessed be. Peace profound.